Hello students, welcome to the next lecture of Basic Electrical Engineering course. So today we will see how the alternating quantities are represented. So that is the next topic here, phasor representation of alternating quantities. Phasor representation of alternating quantities, that is the next topic here we are going to see. So first of all we will see what is the meaning of the phasor, then we will see what is the necessary to represent that phasors will be as a representation of alternating quantity, what is the importance we will see. So phasor representation, so first of all we will see what is the meaning of the phasor. So phasor means here, so instead of phasor, first we will start with the phase. What is the meaning of the phase here? So when you take an alternating quantity like this, so if you take a alternating quantities, so just here, so a phase means here you can see this is the angle of pi by 2, so which is made at omega t. So voltage is V here, voltage is V here, we can take so what is the phase means here, if you observe the zero position, just I am highlighting a zero position here. So the zero position, how much of shift is there or how much of change is there, that is known as the phase shift. It can be measured either in angles, okay, either. So we can say for this what is the phase of this is, so either pi by 2 I can say, or I can say it as in terms of t also, just I am writing t by 4. So the time period at this point is, just let us take it as t by 4. That means, so from the position of 0 how much of shift is there, that is known as the phase here. So that is the meaning of the phase. So after that we will see what is the phase difference. We will see phase difference. So if you see the phase difference here, what is the meaning of the phase difference? So when you see the phase difference can be compared when you have two alternating quantities having the same frequency. Very important objective bit also this one. So whenever you have the same alternating quantity, so that is here we are taking the one alternating quantity as the voltage, with the black I have represented. Next another quantity we are taking, so that is the current, just I am representing with the green color here. So current is here. So with respect to time, so if you observe here the zero positions of the voltage waveform and current waveform, they are showing some difference here. So this difference is known as the phase difference. This difference is known as the phase difference. So this is of meaning of the phase difference. This can be, you can see the phase difference, the alternating quantities having same frequency, then only you can see this phase difference. So we can say it as some current is lagging here, current is lagging by some phase shift or phase difference is there between them, we can say in this condition, right. So give some time because pen was not proper thickness, right, thank you, right. That is the meaning of the phase difference. I think so now you understand what is the meaning of the phase difference. Now come to the actual topic, phasor. What is the meaning of the phasor and why we are representing this phasor? So why we are going for the representation of this phasor is, so because this alternating quantities, if you see, the alternating quantities will have instantaneous values at instantaneous of times. That is what I have defined. What is the meaning of the alternating quantities? This is having a different values, so it is having a different values at a different point of time. But to represent the accurate value of this sinusoidal or alternating quantities, we require a tool, that is a phasor. So phasor we are taking, it is a length of the vector actually. So we will define the phasor as, so a length of the vector which is rotating. So just we are taking a length of the vector here. So this length of the vector is of a maximum value and it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, and it is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, so that it is making some different angles, that is theta is equals to omega t. It is making some different angles. So the length of this vector is maximum value, either Vm or Im. The length of this vector is of a maximum value. So I can define once again, a phasor is a line of definite length rotating in an anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so definite length rotating in an anti-clockwise direction at a constant angular velocity. So it is rotating at a constant angular velocity omega. Okay, so the length of that is equals to the maximum value. That is what we are given here. The length of that vector is maximum value. So whenever you see this diagram, so before going to that, you see this diagram is very important. See here, see this is continuously rotating, is it right? So are you able to see? So this is continuously rotating here. So this vector is continuously rotating. So if you take the position, just I will stop at one point. Okay, so if you take the position, so what is happening at different positions, it is continuously rotating, but if you observe, it is representing the quantities here, it is representing the quantities. So whenever you have this length of the vector is continuously rotating, we are projecting the length of the vector at different points. We are projecting the length of the vector at different points. To show this animation, just I have taken, so I will show the exactly what is the diagram here. You see that diagram also. Okay, so see the diagram. So I will show the diagram exactly what it is there. The next page I will show. See this. This is of, see, as you have seen animation. So this vector is continuously rotating. This vector is continuously rotating. So whenever you are projected the tip of this vector, so tip of the vector is you are projected here, and this is of projected here. So this is of maximum value we are projected, and this is the instantaneous value. So this vector is continuously rotating at this point, and you are represented the value here. So this is of some value, and you are represented the negative maximum value. So why we are representing this phasor is because the alternating quantities you cannot draw accurately. For drawing of accurately the alternating quantities we are going. So whenever you have this point, it is making some other angle, so that you have a clear idea how much it is making an angle, and you are projecting here as a sinusoidal wave, so that you have the accurate value of a sinusoidal signal. That's why we are going for the phasor representation of the alternating quantities. So let us take here I will draw one more diagram for understanding purpose, because you are getting confusion here. So a circle we will take here, just a projection. So you have to draw like this in the external exam also. See if it is the question is asked. So let us see this. This is a sinusoidal signal, and this is the vector of length OP. and this is the OM. So whenever you see here, so this projection is showing the maximum value. This projection of the vector is showing the sum. So what is the length of this? Length of this is Vm or Im, and but it is making some other angle theta. So that is the representation of the, here also theta omega t. Whenever this theta value goes on changing, the position of the vector is also rotating. So the position of the vector is continuously rotating in this direction. So because of that, at this point of time you will have one more projection here, at this point of time you will have the maximum, at this point of time you will have another projection like this, at this point of time you will have the projection of like this, so that you are going to get accurate values because of this phasor representation. That's why we are taking the phasor representation of the alternating quantity. So what we can write? So the length OM we can write as OP sin theta, theta value sin theta. So if you take theta as 90 degrees, then you are going to get OP, that is of maximum value. OP is of maximum value, or you can write as OP sin omega t. That is the purpose of representation of the alternating quantities. So here if you have some angles here, pi and 2 pi, that is the necessary of representation of the alternating quantities in phasors. That is the meaning of that. And you require some mathematical operations. So you require some mathematical operations for the representation. Mathematical operations are required for doing of the problems on the complex numbers. So here we will use complex numbers. This class is a very fundamental for the next module. So listen carefully. Mathematical operations means here we will have either addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. We have 4 basic operations. For addition and subtraction we will use one form, for multiplication and division we will use another form. So what is that forms is complex numbers. Complex numbers will have actually 3 forms, but we will use 2 here. One is polar form, another is the rectangular form, Why I am explaining here? This is of very useful for solving of problem in the next module. Rectangular form is represented as a plus ib. Polar form can be represented as r at an angle theta. They both are related only. So what is this a? Here it is the real part, you know this from the mathematics. And what is this b? It is imaginary part. This is also you know already from the next. R at an angle theta. What is the r is? R is the magnitude of that rectangular number, that is r is a square plus b square, and theta is equals to tan inverse of b by a. Just I have taken these all formulas from the mathematics. Now you come to the mathematical operations here. Whenever you want to do addition and subtraction of this complex number, it is better to go polar form. It is better to go rectangular form. So select the rectangular form. You can add very easily. That is the advantage, rectangular form. So whenever you have the multiplication and division, you have to go for polar form. So let us take the polar form because you can easily divide. So I will show addition of 2. So a plus ib, a1 and a2 plus ib2. So if you want to add, you have to add a1 plus a2, that is the real parts, and imaginary parts, b1 plus b2. Same, whenever you want to subtract a1 minus a2 plus I into b1 minus b2. So that is a advantage when you are represented in rectangular form. Whenever you have the polar form, r1 at an angle theta 2, r2 at an angle of theta 2. So r1 at an angle of theta 1 multiplied by r2 at an angle of theta 2 is equals to, you can write as r1 r2 at an angle of theta 1 plus theta 2, you can write. So whenever you want to divide r1 at an angle theta 1 divided by r2 at an angle of theta 2, the final answer will be r1 by r2 at an angle of theta 1 minus theta 2. So this is of mathematical operations are very useful for solving of problems. That's why I have considered here. So with this the first module will be completed. So just I want to give the some of my subscribers are asked to give the important questions also regarding to this entire complete module, that we will see. So these are the questions are asked. These are the questions are asked in the previous question papers, and with my own experience I am telling what are the questions are asked in the previous papers. So previous question papers, previous questions, or we can say it as the previous questions. So what are the previous questions asked up to now and important questions for your external exam? So instead of focusing on the internal, so focus on the external exam. So the first question you are going to see in the paper is state Ohm's law. State Ohm's law and its limitations. This is the first question you are going to see. They may ask for 5 marks or 3 marks or like that. That depends upon, I cannot tell. Okay, second one, define KCL and KVL with the example. Okay, so with the example, that example also we have given in the videos, you can check it. Third question, they will ask problems only, there is no choice here. So only 2 theoretical questions up to now they are repeatedly asked. That is, so these questions I have taken from the part A. Okay, so when you go for the part B, so for part B, first question is very important, how alternating quantities are generated. How the alternating quantities are generated. This is the first question. You can explain with the diagram which is there in the videos also, you can explain with that. And second question, they are going to ask some definitions regarding to the alternating quantity. So the alternating quantities definitions they are going to ask. What is the meaning of the waveform? So just I am giving some definitions. Waveform, time period, what is the meaning of the time period, what is the meaning of the frequency, what is the meaning of the, like that they will ask some definitions, that's all. And third question you are going to get, it is a very important, is derive an expression for the average value of a sinusoidal signal. Average value of sinusoidal signal, that is the one question, average value of a sinusoidal signal. Fourth question you are going to get, derive an expression for RMS value of a sinusoidal signal. RMS value of a sinusoidal signal. These are the 2, or they may ask definition also instead of derivation. And fifth question you are going to see the definition of the average value, RMS value, average, RMS, form factor, peak factor, form factor and peak factor. So these are the questions up to now they are asked in the previous question papers. So extra, just I am giving this question extra. So they may ask phasor, how the phasor representation of the alternating quantities, that's all. Phasor representation of alternating quantities. So here alternating quantities, this is of entire questions you can expect from the first module. So in the next video we will start with the problems. First I will take the all, so this is regarding to part B here. Okay, these are the important questions from the part B, that is from the AC fundamentals. Okay, so this is the questions they may ask from AC fundamentals, and this is the questions you may get from DC circuits. So that is from the DC circuits. So in the next video we will see, I will start with the formulas, then we will take the previous question papers. Already I made one video on the previous question papers. Let us consider the subscribers are asking more, solve to more questions, so that we will solve more questions on the from the previous question papers we will solve. So that's all for today's. Thank you very much for attending this session.